Hello there, wonderful world of YouTube. My name is Paul. The last while here, I've been watching many videos on preppers and people that are prepared for, I guess, the worst that could happen to humanity and civilization. And I've never really considered myself a prepper as much as someone who likes to be ready, someone who likes to hunt, and someone that does what they can to live off the land, growing our own food and our vegetables and raising pigs for food and meat and stuff like that. But I came across quite a few guys here actually in Canada. Some of you that even note here in Alberta that been doing these bug out bags. Now I don't have a bug out bag per se, but what I do have and what I do keep ready to go is the gear you see here in front of me. Other than the clothes I have on my back from day to day, these two bags and these set of boots is what I have ready to go all the time. Mostly for hunting, other times just out for, leisurely hike, or anytime I go out to bush to do target shooting, ice fishing, anything like that. When you leave your home, you never know what's going to happen, so I like to keep it with me. So we're going to go over this. First I'm going to do the large bag here, which is my clothing. This is everything I would take or have with me for hunting in all weather. I've worn these clothes and stuff that are in this bag to about minus 30, minus 35, and they've done great. And then we'll move over to the actual survival bag or my hunting pack, and we can show you what's in here. So everything you see it is how it is every day. The only exception would be for my Ruger 1022. If it is deer season, so October, November, depending on which area I'm in, I do not have my 22 with me. I would have my Winchester 30-06. The first thing is these boots. These are made by Red Wing Shoe Company. They're the Irish Setter hiking boots. These things are by far the best thing I've ever worn on my feet for walking in the bush. The moisture wicks right out of them. Also with a good pair of socks. I know your feet are always dry, and they're very comfortable, and they're extremely light. They're flexible. These ones aren't steel toe at all. You can get them in steel toe, but being in colder weather here in Alberta, you don't want to have anything that would take the heat out of your feet more than it already does. So let's move on to the large duffel sack. So here we have everything that's in my bag. Now, I'm not about high-end anything at all. I'm not about being the cheapest, but in the end, I don't really care if it has a brand name on it or not. If it seems like a lot of stuff is brand name, it's because that happens to be the sale or the deal that was on at the time. And yeah, if it works, it works. I don't really care about the price. My jacket. This is quite warm. It's got a nice layer inside that wicks your moisture away, just like any good quality jacket would have for the bush. Lots of pockets. Insulated pants. Open up on the bottom nice, and they also open from the top as well if you gotta make a quick run for the bathroom or something. Very easy to get into and out of. Some of these items are just accessories that are attached to the backpack and stuff that I don't use. Like this, I'm not really sure exactly what this is for. It kind of fits on your chest. And you can put ammunition inside of it. I don't really have any use for it. I find it gets in the way, and it's very, very rigid. When you try to bend over, it really jabs into you. Kind of like a fanny pack in all intents and purposes. Has two 1-liter water bottles with it. Good belt. Suspenders. These are the so-called guaranteed for life socks. I don't know how long they'll last. These ones here are a couple years old. I have more pairs of these somewhere, so I gotta find that. But they're really nice. They keep the moisture off your feet as well. Good warm hat, reversible with the camo or the fluorescent orange on the inside. Not required here in Alberta, but you know, better safe than sorry, I guess, sometimes. Good pair of gloves, neck and face scarf. This here's kind of neat. Fits on like a belt that you can put your hands inside. It's really warm, and you can put I got a heater that fits in here as well. And if you're sitting in the tree stand or in the bush or in a blind, you can have your hands in both sides and hold your hands or whatever just to keep them warm. It's a nice little thing. I keep this tow strap with me everywhere. If I have the quad or truck or whatever I have, or just for, you know, hunting. If you got to tow a deer or pull a deer out of the bush, it works really good. Got deer call. This is a 10-foot sock for wrapping up meat, wrapping up a deer if you skin it to woods. This is, if you hunt, you understand what this is. We don't need to get into too much detail on that for some of my viewers that aren't into hunting. These are my boots. These are good. These are 3 layers, 3 liners inside these that come apart. These are good for -65. If it's around minus, even to -30, I remove 1 layer. I only need 2 because they're just way too warm. But they're a really nice boot, and for the size of them, they're quite light. Like I said, hunter orange is not required in Alberta, but better safe than sorry. This is my original hunting vest that my dad bought me, I think, when I was, I don't know if I was 13 or 14 years old. My very first vest. I still have it. A little bit, doesn't cover me up as much as it used to, but it still works. And I usually have my dog with me when I'm out in a boat. There's Mr. Winston over here, trying to figure out what's going on, why the hunting gear's out and we're not in the woods. So I usually have him with me, so I keep a separate collar for him that's orange, has all his information on it. And of course his jacket, which is not for keeping him warm. It just protects his belly against the stubble and the brush for in the bush, and it makes it easier for him to see. So that's everything that's in that bag. Nothing too fancy, like I said, but we'll move on to my actual survival pack, or I guess what people are calling them now is bug out bags. So I have everything back in the bag, and as I was packing it in there, I thought it'd be interesting to find out how much this weighs. I've never actually weighed this bag before. So with everything you saw, I put it all back in, and I weighed this bag here, and it weighs 15.5 pounds exactly. So not too heavy, not the lightest, but this is also not a bag I'm going to be carrying with me everywhere I go. I'm either wearing it because I need it because it's cold, or it's a kind of a stash the bag and come back for it later if it's something that you don't need, if something really goes bad. So on to the next.